gentlemen, everybody. All right. So a couple things for this class, period 1. So today's Wednesday, the 22nd. We're going to do something new, distance, speed, and time. Your homework is all. Now your quiz. Your class, I'm going to give a quiz on Monday. It's going to be a very short quiz. It's going to be on basically distance, speed, and time, interest level 2, interest level 1, percent change, commission, and markup. Because you had a quiz on the 10th, this was on your quiz, so I'm going to quiz you on everything that we've learned up until January 9th. So marked up, again, commission, percent change, simple interest, and simple interest level 2, and what we're going to learn today and tomorrow. I'm gonna figure it out. Honestly, I'm gonna be super lazy and just take your homework questions and give you that as a test.
Can I have my homework back?
Okay. Super lazy. So, how have you been doing your homework? Whatnot. Okay. So we're gonna start off with. Today is the 22nd. And I'm gonna give you the quiz on Friday. No, Monday for you guys. So Monday for you guys. Don't forget anything over the weekend. Distance, speed. I like to make my 5s beautiful.
I think this is 24.
What?
You should have just added a line on top of the 4.
How do you change that into 5?
Like,
just put it over the 4.
Put like the line and then.
That's better?
Yeah.
No, that'll make a.
That looks like a 9.
Yeah.
Well,
That
looks
looks like a G.
A G, yeah. So you like my 5? Okay, got it.
And it's like a 5 with a little tail.
All right, good. Okay. What is distance? How do we measure distance? Greg? What are the units that we use for distance?
Feet, inches, centimeters.
Very good. Good. Okay, so distance can be measured in feet. What else did you say? Inches. Centimeters. Anybody else? Or Greg? What's up? Meters. Anybody else? Yards. Miles. Instead of miles, what does everybody else in the world use? Kilometers. We're the only country that uses miles, inches, yards. Everybody else uses kilometers, meters. Which one's easier? Kilometers, meters. No. Google it. Okay. How do I start a question for distance? When you read how far ... it's distance. So if on a question you read how far away is Michelle from the front of the room, we're talking about distance, okay? How far. So when you read the words how far, you're talking about distance. Now, how do I solve for distance? Distance is equal to speed times time. D is distance equals speed times time. So if you multiply the speed times your time, you will solve for distance. Distance equals speed times time. The UK? No way. They drive on the opposite side of the road. No.
Why not?
What?
I know.
Get up. Show on the screen.
I was like, I think.
What?
Show it on the screen.
They use miles. I'm from UK.
Supposedly the UK, well not supposedly, according to Google, which never lies, and AI.
Yes, it does.
Let's see. AI says.
That's AI.
No, that's AI. That's stuff
That's fake.
That's ChatGPT.
No,
AI
but I
only.
used to live there.
Oh.
So I remember it being like this.
You used to live in the UK?
Yeah.
Wait, what did they call French fries?
What do they
Chips?
call?
What do they call
Lollipops.
Lollies.
I love how you ask questions that you already know the answers to.
What's the word?
Okay.
What are they called?
Okay, distance is feet, inches, centimeters, meters, yards, miles. Okay. Now, okay, the next word is speed.
Wait, I show speed?
Okay, stop. How do I measure speed?
Distance times time.
No. How do I what? Sorry, let me rephrase. What units do I use for speed? Yes? Yes. Yes. There's other ones. Miles per hour, abbreviated as MPH. So if you go on the road in the United States, when you see the speed limit at the bottom, it will say, let's say 65 MPH, which stands for miles per hour. So MPH stands for miles per hour. What's another one?
Kilometers per hour.
Yeah, so you can do kilometers per hour. K stands for kilometers per hour. What if I'm measuring a snail?
Inches per hour.
So inches per hour or centimeters per hour, right? So imagine a snail, and I'm gonna watch it for an hour. Is it gonna be traveling miles?
Yes. Unless it's turbo.
Right, but it's a regular snail. So a regular snail, I'm gonna watch it for an hour and I'm gonna measure its distance. It's not going miles, right? So we would change the units. It would go inches or it would go centimeters, right?
Depends on how fast it's moving.
Let's not get technical, okay? So speed is miles per hour. Now, how do you think the question's gonna start with? The distance was how far. What do you think for speed?
How fast?
How fast. Good. So if you read, how fast did the snail crawl, slither, that's, you're solving for speed. Now, what's the formula for speed?
Distance height divided by c.
Speed equals
Distance times time. I shall
distance divided by time. So this one's division. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. So you take your distance and you divide it by your time, and that will give you your speed. All right, the last one. This is the one we just did. So now the last one is time.
What was it? Distance divided by
Are you
what?
copying off a different book?
Yeah, why reinvent the wheel? Distance, this is like the most important thing. The formulas. All right, time. How do I measure time? What units do I use for time? Give me one.
Seconds.
Seconds. Another person. Give me another one.
Minutes.
Hours. Minutes. What else?
Milliseconds.
Days.
Seconds.
Decades.
Milliseconds.
Milliseconds.
Yeah, no seconds.
Months.
Years.
Years.
Centuries.
Centuries. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Okay. Yeah. I'm both. Periods.
Thanos
5 periods. 1
snapping.
period. Eternity.
The medieval period.
So time. Okay, now this one's the tricky one. How do I ask for time? Distance was how far. Speed was how fast.
How long? What is that?
How long?
Right next to day.
I think I wanted to write decade and then I got decades, milliseconds, months, years. I mean, you guys get it. There's obviously a lot more. Okay, how long? ... Now this is the trickiest one of all because kids will read how long and they think like, oh, you want me to take a ruler and measure how long it is? It's like, no. How long did it take you?
To get from point A to point B.
How long did it take you to get to school today?
5 hours.
It took me 5 hours.
6 minutes.
No, I'm just kidding. It took 6
It took me 10 minutes to get to school.
Cool.
10 minutes.
So,
I did
When-
a rhetorical question.
no, when you read in a word problem how long, it is a time. It is not a distance. That's the number one confusion kids have with these problems. They'll read how long and they think like, oh, yeah, how long is the table? No. How long did it take you to walk to second period? How long did it take you to take a shower? How long did it take you to brush your hair? A long time. I gotta cut my hair. It's a good job.
It takes me a long time to brush my hair.
Ouch. Okay, how do I solve for time? How do I solve for time?
Distance times speed.
Distance divided by speed.
Do you like not get that?
So, these are the three formulas you have to memorize. If I tell you how to find if I ask you to find distance, you have to know that it's distance equals speed times time, Ben. And if I tell you how to, if I ask you to solve for speed, you have to do distance divided by time. Oh my God, it's a lot. Well, here's something that we developed many, many years ago. This paper is going to help us remember all of these three formulas, okay? So take your paper. Miss Heather and I are going to visually do it. Triangle. Okay.
I forgot how to do an interview.
All right. Okay. So follow along. Swatch, Miss Heather. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see my.
Miss, are those the
Okay.
sneakers from Fortnite?
Okay. We're basically going to turn this into a triangle. So this corner, Steve and Giovanni, right here. So this is gonna go like somewhere over here where my index finger is. So this is gonna go. Oh, so I'm basically doing this. Okay. And I'm gonna. It's kind of like making a square for origami. Okay. Notice I'm not going corner to corner. Okay. Now I'm gonna use a table to line up the edges.
I played these games before.
We're doing Dutch.
So you end up with something like this, right? Okay. Now we're gonna hide this piece of the strip of Anna. We're gonna hide this strip of rectangle. So I'm gonna fold it up and over the triangle. Okay. We're gonna hide the little piece. We're gonna eventually hide it. So I'm gonna fold it over the triangle, the little strip of rectangle. I'm gonna hide it over the triangle. I'm gonna go over the triangle, and then I'm gonna open up the triangle and hide it. So fold the strip of rectangle, fold the strip of rectangle over the triangle, and then open up your triangle and hide that strip of rectangle.
Shall we fold it? Wait, does the rectangle fold with it? Yep, fold it inside.
Fold it inside like this. And then basically your end is a triangle. So we're gonna hide the strip of rectangle inside. Yeah. See, I'm hiding it, and then I'm gonna close up my triangle again. Basically ended up with a triangle, okay? Gonna hide your rectangle inside.
Is this supposed to be a map origami?
So your angle is a triangle.
My mom, whenever she finds me out, she says, I see, to the blind man to the deaf dog.
Your last day today?
Yes.
Ben, what are you gonna bring?
Or what? Chippers. I'm gonna get a big bag of toffees.
I was gonna bring that.
You were gonna bring chips? Or snacks like pies, like candy.
You'll watch all
Why would you bring pies?
or you'll sell candies tonight. One.
They just want buying pizza. I'll bring chips. You buy like candy.
Okay?
It's only us three.
That's what we're doing today. This is why helping tomorrow.
Maybe. All right.
Yeah, because you're gonna.
Okay. So you have your triangle. Yay, everybody. Okay. I'm going to do something. I'm going to show you how it looks like live because it needs to be written the way I write it and with pretty big letters. This is not a time to use small letters because then it won't work for you. Okay? So I'm going to use this to help me remember the formula for distance, speed, and time. So I'm going to show it to you live. It has to be like this big. Okay? we're doing these letters pretty big. It does matter. Position.
I never knew size matters.
So this big, in this order, pretty big letters, in this order, with the division, with the dot for multiplication. So this is what we're looking for.
I already missed it. Then I have to look. Are we gonna use the backside?
All right, we're good on this? Yes. Triangles are her friends. Dorito Man. Okay. Okay. So, whatever you want to solve for is the letter that you cover up, and it'll tell you the math that you have to do. So, if I want to do distance, it's speed times time, right? So, if I want to find distance, what I do is I fold over and cover up the letter D. And now what math is left there? Multiplication, and what two letters are being multiplied? S times C. So it tells you what you're solving for. So go ahead and fold it. Okay. Okay. Now we fold. Here's the math. Okay. Now I'm going to open it. What if I want to solve for speed? Here's the formula. So what letter do I cover up for speed? S. So I'm going to fold this corner and cover up the S, and to the best of your ability, the dot. So what math, when I cover up speed, what math is shown? Division. What do I divide by? Distance divided by time. The distance is on top. So the math says that take your distance and you're going to divide by your time. Okay? Now, the last one is my time. So take my last corner. What letter do I cover up? The multiplication and the T. What math do I have to do?
Speed divided by distance.
No. Distance divided by speed. Does the order matter? Yes. Just like yesterday when I asked what's 4 divided by 12 and you all kept saying 3 and I was like, embarrassed. Very embarrassed. But we won't remember that. Okay. So basically this is to help you. Like, you fold one at a time depending on the word problem. Like, oh, I'm solving for speed. Cover up the S. Oh, I'm solving for time. Cover up the T. So this is a way to help you remember these 3 formulas. Okay?
Can we write on the flaps?
Why are you gonna write on the left?
All right. I think so. Okay. It is early days, so I think I'm only going to do one problem with you. Okay. So, Gio traveled for 5 hours
Gio, you're traveling with me?
So if
at
you're
an average speed of 65 miles per hour. Gio traveled for 5 hours, so we're writing this down. Gio traveled for 5 hours at an average speed of 65 miles per hour. Does anybody know what I'm going to ask you?
Yes.
How long? 5 hours. How fast? 65 miles per hour.
Damn, Gio, you went fast.
Time? 5 hours.
Distance.
So how would I phrase that?
A speed times time.
No. What question? How would I phrase the question? How
How
far
did he travel?
did he travel or did he go?
time span of 5 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
So, some of you, if you can spot out what I'm going to ask you, great. Very good. If you're confused, ask yourself, like, okay, how fast? Oh, wait, they already told me that. 65. So I'm not solving for speed because they told me the speed. How long? What's the time? Oh, it's 5 hours, so they're not asking me for time. So what are they asking me? How far, which is distance. So you cover up the letter D. What's the math? S times C. So distance is equal to speed times time. What's my speed? 65 miles per hour. What's my time? 5 hours. Now, I'm going to grade you on the units. So here's how you're going to do units. Okay? I'm not just grading you on the math. I'm grading you on the units. I have to grade you on the units. So, let's do the easy part first. What's 65 times 5?
32.
3,200.
325.
325.
Okay, 325.
That's what I said.
Okay. Now, if you just tell me 325, you're half right, which means you have an F, because half is 50% an F. How do I do the units? Okay, listen to me carefully. The units, if they repeat, cross them out. Okay? So what repeats?
H.
H. Cross it out. Do not write a unit that repeats. So you see how they both have an H? So cross it out, you're not going to use it. Now the multiplication and the P cancel each other out. The per means division. So if I have multiplication and P stands for division, actually in math it means division. So what do the multiplication and the division do to each other? They cancel each other out. What am I left with? Miles. So in this question, which is kind of easy for you guys to maybe determine, our units is miles. So you get 1 point for having the right number and 1 point for having the right units. And the way we determine the units is either 1, common sense, or 2, if the letters repeat, the units repeat, they cancel each other. Per and multiplication cancel each other. You're not really going to go 325 miles per. You're like, huh? 325 miles per? That doesn't make sense. So cancel this. These two cancel. You're left with just miles. Okay? Don't say that because someone's going to hear you and think you're right. You're not. Okay.
I don't understand.
No?
What don't you understand about
Okay. Let's see. Bao ran. Oh, I should have used a Run Strong student.
Me.
Bao, are you a Run Strong student?
I can run the best in this class.
Okay. Change this. You change it to a Run Strong student. I will make Bao an honorary Run Strong member for the day.
I'm keeping Val.
I'm gonna do Gregory. I'm gonna do Darwin. I'm gonna do Darwin. Darwin's a very strong.
Wait, Darwin
Darwin's
hasn't been
strong.
there for like.
Too bad.
Okay.
You haven't even ran, bro. You said your mom won't let you do it because you're doing volleyball.
Okay. So Bao, Anna, Alana, everybody was in half the classes in Run Strong. Okay, ran a total of 15 miles over the weekend. So over the weekend, over the course of a holiday weekend, over 3 days, you guys ran 15 miles. Wow.
That's light.
If his speed was 3 miles per hour, average speed. Hey, it's a constant, like you know. He speeds up, he slows down, he speeds up. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, he's too slow. It's too fast for Miss Lamelli, but whatever. You know, she needs to take a break.
I ran 10 miles per hour.
Okay. What am I going to ask you? Okay, so Bao ran a total of 15 miles over the weekend. If his speed was 3 miles per hour, how long did it take him? Okay? So if you can spot out what they're going to ask you before, good. Because you can figure out what information they already gave you. So how long, what does that mean? What am I solving for when it says how long? Time. So you cover this up. What is time equal to? Okay. So when you write your numbers, also include your units. When you write your numbers, also include your units. What's my distance? 15 miles. So I'm going to write my units. I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't want to write that. It's going to help you figure out the math easier if you take the 10 seconds to write it down. Speed. What's the speed? 3 miles per hour. Okay. What repeats? Does per mean multiplication or does per mean division? Now I'm doubting myself. Does per mean multiplication or does per mean division in math?
Division.
Does it?
Hey Siri.
Didn't you just say that on the last one?
Does per mean multiplication or division in math?
Sorry, I can't help you with that.
Division. Okay, good. That's right. That's right.
I knew.
I was doubting myself. Don't doubt yourself.
I told
Okay.
you.
Now, what's 15 divided by 3?
5.
5. Now, the division and division, they're the same, right? So they cancel each other out. What are we left with? Hours.
I literally said it. I literally said it.
The per and the division cross out. They repeat. So, doom, doop, you're left with hours. And then, like, does that make sense? Like, how long did it take Bao to run 15 miles in total? 5 hours. Done. Not 5 hours per.
How did you cross out the P?
With a division, because they're the same. So division, division. So it's kind of like, you see how the ends repeat? Cross them out. Division and per both mean division.
I get it.
So if they repeat, cross them out. The division and the per, that's gonna. I feel like I'm gonna mess you guys up in 5 minutes. With the per. With the per. All right. Let me see. Okay. So tomorrow, I'm not gonna rush it because that's mistakes I do during the year. I'll try to fit another one and we're good. Okay. The last one I did not show you was speed, and we'll show you that tomorrow. I want you to leave this in your notebook just like that. We're not gonna glue it in because we need to hold it. Okay. We're just gonna take it like this. Close it up. We're still recording.